I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I am your host, Richie. On today's show, we're going to be doing a Sunday rundown of the everything NFL related yesterday. A lot of wild finishes, a couple of upsets as well. We're going to hit on a new champion in town as Terrence Crawford stepped into the realm of true greatness, beating a legend in Canelo Alvarez. Netflix delivered on that one. We're going to talk some MLB as the Yankees were unsuccessful in their attempt to bring the broom to Fenway. But we are going to start it up in Arlington, Texas. Our New York Giants losing a game that, quite frankly, they just should have won. Mr. Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. What happened wrong, dude? Let the people hear about this.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, we did everything.
What more do you have to do to win a football game?
Dude, we did everything we had to do. The only thing we didn't do right was stop them before overtime. We just had to make a
question.
Stop. Yeah.
Did you think Aubrey was going to make that 64-yarder?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to miss. I really did.
I was hoping he missed, but I had a feeling he was going to make it because Aubrey, the guy is super clutch. He's like Vinatieri. He's clutch, man. I mean, I knew he's going to make it. I was hoping he wouldn't, but I knew he would.
All right, I'll tell you the good, and then I'll tell you the bad. The good, Russell Wilson having the highest yardage output of his career. Now, that includes all the years in Seattle, the 2 Super Bowl teams he played on.
Mm-hmm.
A very illustrious Hall of Fame worthy career. Russell Wilson yesterday was that guy. Yesterday as well, as he had a phenomenal game. Wan'Dale Robinson got in on the fun. Giants did get to Dak Prescott, but truthfully, I said it on my socials yesterday. I believe that Shane Bowen needs to change his defensive systematic approach because if this continues, I believe that Shane Bowen needs to be replaced. I didn't like going into the final moments of the fourth quarter, just giving up a little too much cushion to put Dallas in a position to take that mammoth field goal attempt. The same thing happened in overtime. Russell Wilson made 2 mistakes in this game. He accidentally threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage that killed the drive, and he threw a costly pick. But I will not blame Russell Wilson for this one. He was good all day. The Giants don't even have the day they had were it not for him.
Yeah.
I blame this on 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson committing the most penalties in one drive in the history of the NFL in this century. That was one. Giants had a chance to step on the next early. They did not. Brian Dable not taking 3. Ultimately cost very, very costly because the Giants would have just won the game outright. Because the Cowboys would not have needed a field goal to force overtime. They would have needed a touchdown, and I don't think they would have scored a touchdown in 25 seconds.
You
A
know,
game the Giants should have won.
yeah,
Dak Prescott, got to give him credit.
yeah.
He did what he had to do to win. Miles Sanders, proven that he still has a little juice.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Even with the early penalty kills, 160 yards worth of it, still a game the Giants should have won despite those mistakes. And in the division, when you give a game away like that, it is soul crushing. But the one positive that I could take from this is that through 2 weeks, the Giants look like a better team than they did last year, despite not having anything in the W column. That's all I could say right now.
Yeah, the Hudson stuff, it killed us. Well, you know, the first quarter, the first drive period, the kickoff, the penalty took us back. Then the penalties on Hudson, we were down to the 2-yard line. That drive could have iced the game. Yes, it was just the first quarter, but that drive could have iced the game. You know why? We got 3 instead of 7. I'm 99% sure when we were on the 2-yard line, that first drive, we're punching it in. We're going up 7-0 instead of 3-0. That drive basically set the tone because penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty, killing drive, penalty after penalty, letting Dallas go down the field. I'm like, come on. And then now Drew Phillips, I'm gonna give him a 5 on his performance because he did pick off the pass. He did make some good plays. But he got burnt a few times. He was
Not to mention when he makes a beautiful defensive play and then decides to rough up CeeDee Lamb. I was aggravated with the referees. Our guy Mike Zappi and I got into it a little yesterday, and I'm not looking for freebies from the refs, but what pissed me off was on a play where there was obvious offensive holding. Of the 3 flags called, all of them were against the Giants, and the only reason why the Giants were able to negate that is because CeeDee Lamb got caught for taunting. But what pissed me off on that play is that the referees saw nothing wrong that the Cowboys did. I'm not going to blame the refs. The Giants did it to themselves. But this is a complaint not just in yesterday's game. This is a complaint on the whole around the NFL.
Yeah, I agree,
referees
man.
have to be more consistent. If you're going to call it both ways.
Go to the booth if they have to. And, you know, on to the game still. I think you know what, the pass to Russell Wilson, the interception he threw, I'm not going to put it all on him because it kind of looked like it was a slant, and neighbors might have taken the wrong route because even neighbors looked kind of confused, like I might have turned. It looked like it was a blown route. I think he just took the wrong turn.
And truthfully, when it's third and forever, you gotta chuck the ball downfield.
You gotta throw it downfield.
If they pick it off, it essentially serves as a punt. Yes, it serves as a punt.
It's a punt. Yeah, and so I'm not gonna smash. I think Russell Wilson played a freaking hell, and oh my God, Russell Wilson balled out. I'm not gonna hit him in the head over that interception. Like I said, it was third and forever.
Not when the defense couldn't stop anyone when it counted most. I refuse to.
It was third and forever. So you gotta chuck it down the field. Because if not, you're punting. And that was essentially a punt, basically.
It was a bad series all the way through.
Yeah.
Because the reason it was third and forever is because one of the 2 mistakes that Russ made in the game, unfortunately, were on the most important drive.
Yeah. The pass that he never let go of and it bounced backwards.
Yeah, it happens. I cannot get on a guy that almost threw for 500 yards. And you want to know something wacky?
Yeah.
I would have to look this up to absolutely be sure. But to my knowledge, in regular season New York Football Giants history, the greatest game in Phil Simms' career where he threw over 500 yards against the Cincinnati Bengals was a defeat.
Was a loss. Yep. I remember that game.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Russ finished with what, 485 yesterday?
45. Yep.
Another loss. Very uncharacteristic.
But
for
you
a
know
team
something?
to lose like that.
But you know something? What we saw, I I love what our offense did yesterday.
Yeah,
I love what our
you gotta take some of the positives. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Marcus Embo out of Purdue belongs at left tackle,
he
or at
belongs to
least to
left
be
tackle.
part. He needs to be part of the solution when
He
Andrew
needs to be a left
Thomas
tackle.
returns.
Because you know something, and I don't mean to cut you off. When it took Hudson out, he protected that backside of Russ. That boy and remember, we just got him off the practice squad. He went in there and played his ass off.
I am not surprised because when we picked him,
Yeah,
he was one of my Q guys in many a draft that I would not have been upset if the New York Giants had, because this young man can also play the interior. This young man can also play center.
he
So
earned a
when
spot
he
on
was
his squad.
drafted,
Mm-hmm.
he put up that all your jobs could be in jeopardy, whether it's you, John Michael Schmitz, who
Mm-hmm.
played better yesterday.
He did. He did.
You know, the offensive line played a solid game. The frustration for Giant fans is that in week one, it was the offense that couldn't do anything correct.
Hey,
Week two, the offense looked like the greatest show on turf, but we couldn't stop anybody.
hey, Nast, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was gonna end in a tie. I really did. Until Brandon Aubrey lined up. I didn't think they were gonna get close enough to get the kick. But when he kicked, I was like, damn.
I'll be honest, Idris, when we
Yeah,
threw that pick, I
yeah,
knew it was the beginning of the end,
I
because
did.
our
I did.
defense was so damn gassed, and Shane
It
Bowen
was
has
gas.
got to figure this out.
Cause did you see what's his name that just leaning over? He was gas, dude.
Yes, he was.
He was that, and hats off to our D line, and we got to keep Abdul Carter in there. He may not have got himself a full sack, but he was getting through there. We got to keep Carter out there. K5 played lights out. Brian Burns was everywhere. We got to find a way to keep our linebackers out there. Carter.
And speaking of linebackers, they're becoming a thin role. Chris Board
Yeah,
had to jump in the game yesterday.
yeah,
Masao got hurt. We don't
yeah.
know when we're getting McFadden back. If I'm the New York Giants, I am
Mm-hmm.
considering going to see some semi-retired guys that know the system. Does
Yeah.
Jalen Smith get a call? Is there anybody that is an undrafted free agent right now that we might be able to find a diamond in the rough? The Giants need some linebacking help right now because of the injuries.
And you know what? My final word on the Giants is this: we saw what that offense can do. This is the
Yes,
same.
indeed.
This is the same defense they gave Philly hell last week.
Yes, it is.
I better not see any more 13-point games, any 17 point. I need to see 25, 30. We saw, and Dallas has a real good defense. They're not like last year, but they're pretty good this year.
One other positive that I want to throw, although we shouldn't have lost yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
Cam Scatterbo
Woo!
looks like he could potentially be the number one back right now.
He might, dude. I love Tyrone Tracy, but Scat, that guy, he's a short version of Brandon Jacobs. He's like Brandon Jacobs and Tiki. The guy is little comp. I love that kid. I love that
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
Um,
he's got to work on catching the football. He dropped
yeah,
one, he almost dropped the second that he
yeah,
recovered on. Malik Neighbors had a huge drop. Nobody remembers it because he scored a
yeah.
touchdown on the very next play.
Right.
Great players do that. They make
Yeah.
a mistake and they immediately make amends for it. Giants should have won yesterday.
Should have
Dallas
won.
did. 0
Yeah.
2. There's no moral victories in this league.
No.
And the
No.
Kansas City Chiefs are also 0 2, Idris. We host them on Monday Night Football next week. The Philadelphia Eagles did not play a great game.
Mm-mm.
That was an ugly game on
It
both
was an ugly
fronts.
game.
Absolutely. But the Philadelphia Eagles got the one statistic that matters, and that's winning the football game. What is your feedback on what we saw yesterday out in Arrowhead?
But what you just said, ugly game. Neither team looked like they just didn't look. They look like they did not look like two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. They didn't.
Not by any
To
means.
be honest with you, and I'm not harking on the Giants, but if this team yesterday played either one of them yesterday, we would have beaten them.
I tend
Um,
to agree. I think Dallas, one thing I want to talk about Dallas is keeping in the
mm,
division. Then we'll go back to the Eagles.
Hmm.
They might have won yesterday, but that secondary was getting incinerated.
Yes, by one man.
Yeah.
One man. You knew he was going. And even with the couple of catches Darius Slayton caught, um, we got an offense. But back to Philly, KC. Yeah, I wasn't impressed by either team. Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs in rushing. I think they don't have faith in Pacheco. I think they don't have faith in their running game without Rice being in there. Um, Saquon didn't look like the Saquon we saw last year. It's 2 weeks in a row. He didn't, and it's understandable they don't have what they had last year on the O line and everything.
Yeah,
But he
they're
doesn't
going
look
through
like
it right now with some banged up bodies. And the other
yeah,
part is level of competition. Saquon will
yeah.
have those bust out kind of games.
Oh yeah, oh yes,
But
they're
people
coming.
also need to understand that when you play later into the previous season, your body is like, damn, dude, we've
Yeah,
been through a lot together.
and KC doesn't have a bad defense.
No,
Their
they
defense is
don't.
pretty. Yeah, their defense is damn good.
A
So
couple of things go
yeah,
differently. The Chiefs are 2-0, so make no mistake, you're going to be hosting a very pissed off Kansas City Chiefs team on the national stage. And I can't believe I'm actually saying this. The Kansas
mhm.
City Chiefs could be a get right game for the New York Football Giants. Shouts out Russell Smith because I'm using your quote, sir. Huge Giants fan. Congrats on your two baby girls, father of two beautiful twins. God bless your family.
Salute.
Congratulations to you. Huge New York Football Giants fan. And he said that quote. So whenever I grab a quote, if it ain't coming from my head, I give props where it came from. But I'm with you, Russell. I do believe that the New York Football Giants, this could be a get right game. The crowd is gonna be in full effect,
Before
and
you move on from that, I want to say something. Before you move on from that,
I just hope we
um,
could recover. That's all I got right there.
I think they can't run the ball. KC can't run the ball,
No, they
and
cannot, sir.
that'll help us because I think we have a defensive front that can um Dallas did pretty decent running the ball, but I mean Williams is no scrub, you know. So I
It
think
was
we can,
still an improvement from the previous week in DC.
yeah. So I think if we can watch it on the back end, Adobo. I don't know why I keep calling him Adobo.
I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, if he could do that, Banks can stop him. If all those guys, if those DBs, the corners, defensive backs can even look average, we can win. Because I got faith in our linebacker core. Even though we're hurt, I got faith in Carter. I got faith in Burns on the edge. I got faith in K5 on the edge. I got faith in uh uh Dexy.
But yeah,
I got faith in Boyd coming in there. I got faith in our everything from the linebackers in our front seven, as they say. It's our back that we have to be able to stop KC. And I think we can. And I'm not being a homer. Based on what I've seen from both teams, and how we played the first 3 quarters, we were just gassed that fourth and overtime. We can win. I'm not saying we can win, but we'll have that at the end of the week.
yeah, and if there's any team that could overcome an 0-3 hole, it would be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably pick the Chiefs for a litany of reasons, mainly the fact that it's a desperation game and they're the defending AFC champions. But
Mm-hmm.
I look at this NFC East before we move it along to the rest of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Washington Commanders, the game was closer than the score would indicate. The Green Bay Packers really, really dominated. And
They
right
dominated
now,
that game.
through 2 short weeks, I believe that the Green Bay Packers currently, on this very moment, are the best team in the NFL. I think the Buffalo Bills are not far behind them. But as the Commanders go, you lose Austin Eckler, who's a very important part of what they were trying to do this year. Now you put
Yeah.
the backfield duties in the hands of two very young guys in Krosky Merritt as well as Rodriguez. And we're going to see the adjustments that Dan Quinn's team is going to have to make moving forward. I did forecast that Washington would have a tougher go this year,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because it's a tougher schedule and they're not catching anybody off guard this year. But we've seen a poor game from everybody in the East already.
Mm-hmm.
Philly is not playing up to their standard, but champions find a way to win. So I will praise your cousin's team on that. But it's going to be a very interesting season for the NFC East because I think from a sense of parity, teams are a lot closer in that division than might be revealed right now. As
Yeah.
um, as the North goes, The Detroit Lions stomped an absolute mud hole in the collective asses of the Chicago Bears. Not to my surprise that they won, but I certainly didn't think it was going to be that terrible.
Me neither, dude. I'm thinking. I think I had it like 28-24 or 28-21.
I was expecting a
Detroit.
one-score kind of game, maybe
Yeah.
maybe the Lions by 10, but I certainly didn't expect them to put a 50 burger out there.
Golly. And dude, God, I was watching, I had the little joint. Hey, Coco in the building. Why you are not working? You are at work. Nah, I'm joking with you.
Yeah, what are you doing, Coco? What are we
I'm
taking a
joking,
lunch break
Coco.
here? As I sit in the back of my Florida room on my ass.
Right. But um, what did you just ask? I forgot.
Um, no, I didn't ask anything. I just said that I was really mind
Oh,
blown.
yeah.
But it's a caliber of opponent thing too, because Green Bay arguably has the best defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but
And then you get the Bears, a Bears team that I don't think psychologically recovered
yeah,
from losing to the Minnesota Vikings the previous week.
yeah, but golly, you would think Ben Johnson, Detroit. I mean, yeah, Detroit. You got these weapons with Caleb Williams, which I still say he'll be a good quarterback, but he won't be great.
No, he won't.
You got Roma Dunze, you got DJ over there. I mean, God, but that Detroit defense without who? They went out there and put a beat down on that freaking Chicago offense. And Caleb Williams, you know what? I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on him. Like I said, I've said going back to when he was at Oklahoma and then USC that he's gonna be average at best. He's from Oklahoma. He's on I can't think of his name, the coach now. Lincoln Riley, I say he's gonna be good, but he won't be this great quarterback they call him because he has too many flaws, and the one thing he doesn't have, heart.
I tend to agree. And those were some character defaults that blew my mind that the NFL had him as the number one pick, because that was the universal agreement amongst pretty much every franchise when Jaden Daniels was only one pick behind him, which is just on so many levels, just bananas to me. You could have kept Justin Fields and drafted Malik Neighbors.
Might as well.
You could have traded back. You could have done a lot of things.
Because you know what? With Justin Fields, he's who he is. However, I just think he does more. I think he just has more heart,
my overall
man.
point, Idris, I just don't think you're getting that massive of an upgrade to reinvest in a position that you haven't been able to figure out since the 1980s.
Never had a 4,000-yard passer.
Your cousin won a Super Bowl with those 85 Bears. They haven't had a quarterback with more heart since Jim McMahon
McMahon. Right. They're no heart. Caleb Williams is good. I mean, he's a good quarterback. Good arm. He's good on his feet. Everything. He's missing the heart in him. And as I keep telling people, his problem is he holds the ball too long. He's not getting it out fast enough. And they're hitting him like, dude, you got it. After 2 seconds, you got to look for a defensive man coming to hit you.
Absolutely.
You got to say, I got 2 seconds to get rid of the ball. After that, anything's coming.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more if I tried. Minnesota Vikings, coming down to earth a little bit. I'll be real with you. Through 8 quarters, I have not been impressed with the Minnesota Vikings. I think week 1 is more of a product of the Bears allowing them back in. Atlanta Falcons rode the Bijan train to a victory yesterday. Michael Penix did what he had to do, not the blow-up game.
Yeah.
Right. But, Atlanta, by all intents and purposes, could very well be 2-0. They are 1-1 in my opinion, a 2-team race in that division because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play today. That's going to be a fun game. We're going to give you our Monday night predictions in a second. But as that game goes, Bijan Robinson proving to many why he was the number 1 running back to go in so many fantasy leagues this year.
Ground and pound, baby. That's what he is, ground and pound. I think with J.J. McCarthy, I think he's going to be a good quarterback, but I think they made a mistake in not letting him play in the preseason. He should have played more in the preseason because he didn't play all last year. He had that little short time in preseason last year when he got hurt. But they should have played him this year in the preseason at least a quarter a game or a few series each game, because we're seeing now he's actually learning the game.
Yes.
And you can't learn the game during the season. You learn the game in preseason and you hone your skills as you go on, but you can't be learning the game when your second game of the season. And I think
That's
that's
part of
coaching.
the reason why I think they made a big mistake not bringing in the veteran Aaron Rodgers, because I think that given his experience in that division and
Or
getting to
keeping
play his
Kirk Cousins. He wanted to stay there. He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins could have been a nice transition thing. They probably could have worked out a deal with the team that played yesterday. I think that could have made sense. But with Rodgers being super available and
Go
them
for
not
it.
really meeting Rodgers' interest, because Rodgers was very interested in pulling the full Brett Favre.
Yes.
The full Brett Favre was on Rodgers' to-do list, but the Vikings didn't want him. And I think just to save face and kind of feed his own narcissistic values, he made the Steelers wait a little longer than they should have. He came back down to earth yesterday.
Big time.
I did not see that coming.
No.
I knew what Seattle wanted to do. I just didn't think they were going to do it. So shouts out to Sam Darnold and co. getting the victory. And, similar to what I said about the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, teams like that have a very distinct home advantage. If you're going to catch them, you got to catch them early. Even the last year's world champions lost week 2 to the Atlanta Falcons, a team who didn't even make the playoffs, to your boy that you just mentioned, Kirk Cousins. But point I'm making is through 2 weeks and 8 quarters, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is not even moderately as advertised.
And that was the strong point. Jalen Ramsey, Watt.
Yeah. Those linebackers and that front 3 to 4 guys, depending on what sub package you're putting in, are underperforming greatly right now. And they're fortunate that they have one victory, because Aaron Rodgers had a similar game to what Russell Wilson had in week 2. But Rodgers definitely came down to earth. I am in position to go 5-0 in all my fantasy leagues this week, as unsung hero for me was James Cook. One of Rodgers' former teams, New York Jets, just got ran over. A very modest performance from MVP Josh Allen, only 168 yards passing. But James Cook and the Buffalo offensive line, the Buffalo defense, they beat the Jets at every part of yesterday's game.
Every part of the game. And I know we're going to get to that game. I'm going to lose today against Brett, because I don't have a Monday night player playing tonight. So I'm going to lose. I know we're going to get into the game, but I just want to trash talk just a little bit, because it's Brett. Brett, I started Daniel Jones, and it paid off.
And I'm going to apologize to you here on the air, because I lost sight of the fact that you had Josh Allen on your roster. When I told you to bench Daniel Jones last week, and he had that blow-up game, I didn't realize that you also had Josh Allen sitting there. So out of the 3, you unfortunately started Russell Wilson. You've been the quarterback whisperer in part with Daniel Jones. We got to talk about that. That is the biggest story of the week, if we're going to be honest. The Indianapolis Colts have done something that no other NFL team has ever done. What is that, Mr. Salam?
Hey, they have won 10. They have scored on 10 straight possessions to open the season. Daniel Jones, guess what? He's the number 2 quarterback in passing in the NFL. No turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions.
And who's number 1 passing in the league right now? Russell Wilson. You own 2 of those quarterbacks in fantasy.
You can't make this up.
You just got to pick the right week to play these guys. I got news for you, Idris. I got news for you.
Yeah.
Their stock has never been higher.
Right. Daniel Jones, baby.
Listen, I gotta give it to you. I thought you were out of your mind.
Everybody did.
When you said that Daniel Jones was going to do what he did against the Denver defense, I can understand doing it to Miami. Mr. Paul, Mr. Glenn Shepard, you know I got nothing but love for you guys, but your team is hot doo-doo juice.
Shout out to Maurice Thrower, another Miami Dolphins fan. He's my man, though.
God,
Jeff Stapleton, you my man, but
they are horrible.
Dude, that team sucks. But I think we had them winning like 4 games this year, something like that.
They're the worst team in the NFL right now, if you ask me.
They're bad.
They are so terrible. If
Yeah,
I'm them, I'm firing Mike McDaniel like yesterday. I'm trading
yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
yeah. I'm dumping.
I'm going to pay Tua to just retire because we don't want him getting hurt. My God, the only bright
He threw
spot
the
is
coaches
Devin
under the
Achane.
bus yesterday too. McDaniel threw the coaches under the bus. Like, dude, you're the coach, and you're
Oh,
throwing the coaches under the bus.
he's about to get his ass fired. And
Brandon Staley. Brandon
you know,
Staley.
shouts out to Mike Vrabel's New England Patriots beating the Dolphins yesterday. He gets his first win as the
Mm-hmm.
coach of his former team. He played there
Yep.
as one of the better linebackers they had alongside legends like Teddy Bruschi and Willie McGinnis.
Yeah.
Just a
Julius
damn good
Sayal.
player, a damn good coach. The Patriots are in a good place right now. They are just
Yeah.
starting to get their feet wet.
You know what
And
about
we
them?
said it.
They're
They're
playing with
going to
house
finish
money.
second in this division.
They're playing with house money
Yeah,
because people not
yeah.
expecting them to be the big blow up. But like me and you said, y'all better watch out for the Patriots this year. They're gonna hurt a lot of feelings.
No, the
They're
New
gonna hurt
England
a lot of feelings.
Patriots. The New England Patriots are doing it. I got to talk more about Daniel Jones, though. It's important enough to speak on. Right now, what he's doing is a similar comparability to when he had the most success in his career, which was his rookie year. People forget
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones only missed the rookie touchdown passing record in terms of touchdown passes
Mm-hmm.
by 3, which was
But
held by Dan Marino. The
and what have
Giants
okay,
swiftly fired Pat Shermer. That
yeah,
was the right coach for Daniel Jones's skill set.
right,
I'm
exactly.
not saying that he should have ever been a head coach. He probably just should have been an OC.
Oh, see,
His grandfather, Fritz Shermer,
Fritz,
was
yep,
on the opposite side of it. My
good
dad lovingly
DC.
called him Von Fritzen, as his Packer defenses were pretty damn
They
good.
were pretty good.
Yeah, see my old
Yeah,
man on a Sunday, like screaming at him, like cheersing him, like if the guy could hear him from Lambeau Field.
yeah.
Dad
Fritz
sucking
was
down
something.
a frosty cold one.
Fritz was something
Call,
else though.
calling Reggie White the minister of defense and saying how Jesus sent him to the Green Bay
Right.
Packers. My father really believes that that's true, and I think Reggie
That's
White
wild.
did. God bless your soul, Reggie White.
Yeah,
You
he
were
might have
you
nailed
were
it
the
on
goat
that
in
one.
your position. But
He might have nailed it on that one.
Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones, right now, what he's doing, this is not a farce. This is not
Mm.
some fluke. He needed a complete reset,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
did.
getting it, and he is maximizing his opportunity. Of course, it helps when you have a good running game. But you got to
Yeah,
give credit to the coach. Shane Steichen's doing a
Stipe.
beautiful job with the Indianapolis Colts. And I got news for you, dude. Think about the great quarterbacks that play for that organization. You got Johnny Yu, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck.
Burt Jones.
Yes.
You got a lot of yeah.
The
You know,
Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh played
Jim
there.
Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh
He,
almost
he
got him to the
was
Super Bowl. One game
he
within the
was a
Super Bowl.
couple of inches away from sending them to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl in '95.
missed that Hail Mary.
That's going back to the Ted and Marcia Broda
Tim
days.
Martin.
Oh my. Oh
Yeah,
my.
you know, and you know,
Marshall Falk was on that team.
yeah, yep. I think with Daniel Jones, I mean, he's going to have a bad day. He's going to have a bad. Everyone. But I always said about Daniel Jones. You know, I've said it since he was. I say people look at Daniel Jones' numbers in college compared to Josh Allen. Look at Daniel Jones' first year and the second year compared. I said he played better statistically. Is when they brought all the different coaches. I said he was. I said look how he's doing with Shane. I've watched both games because I'm a Daniel Jones fan. I'm waiting on my jersey to come through. The guy is playing. Oh my God! If you guys haven't watched Daniel Jones play this season, he's playing like this is nothing to me. This is nothing to me.
I think the
And
big monkey got lifted off his back,
mm-hmm.
and that big monkey is known as the New York tabloids. And I'll be real with you, Idris.
Yeah,
Brian Dable's leadership, in my opinion, is under question for a litany of reasons. I'm not
mm-hmm.
saying that Wink Martindale was the end-all, be-all defensive coordinator. I like some of his schematics. Some of it I didn't.
Yeah.
Gives up a lot of yards, but you also force a lot of turnovers.
Force a lot of turnovers.
And more aggressive. I would have liked Wink yesterday.
Oh my
But
goodness, we win that game with Wink.
yeah, I agree. I agree. But you know, Dable has had a propensity for throwing certain guys under the bus and not being totally accountable. He better be careful.
Yeah,
Because this is how Ben McAdoo lost that locker room.
exactly.
and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go on record on saying this, and we can revisit this episode a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
If the New York Giants flame out in a bad way, Brian Dable might be joining his DC on the chopping block, and John Gruden might be coming to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of the question, and he already has a bit of a rapport with young Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm proud of the kid, man. I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for Daniel Jones. Because he even looks like he just looks comfortable. He looks happy. Like I said last week, you know, he's playing in his Duke colors. You know, all you got to do is change the helmet and put the D there instead of the horseshoe.
Yeah,
and he's playing for Duke again. So I think he's comfortable. And I said, like, during the offseason, I said he's gonna win a job from Anthony Richardson because of his toughness. And regardless of what happened, can no one ever question Daniel Jones' heart? The kid has heart. He never
that's
quits.
an intangible that you can't teach at any level, because one thing I always admired about him is that he took every hit from the New York media with decency, and even when they humiliated him on the way out of New York, which I thought was classless. I'm going to call my team out on that.
Yeah.
You know, right now, he and Saquon Barkley both left the Giants. They both got the same damn record.
Yeah.
And that would be some friggin' story, and another thing for the Giants to be pretty ashamed about, because we are one of the teams that when we lose certain players, they go on to win championships quickly.
Yeah.
Or be in Super Bowls. And I mean, I get it. It's a very transient league, and a lot of people change teams now more than ever. Team loyalty is not what it used to be. You see like players alternating from Giants and Eagles and Steelers and Ravens. You see it all the time. Steph Diggs is a friggin' Patriot now.
Yeah.
You know, you see it. But no, week 2, very entertaining, and week 2 is not done yet. Oh, by the way, very unfortunate news out of Ohio, as Joe Burrow is going to be out for a hot minute, but I don't think it's panic time for the Bengals, because Jake Browning is one of the better backups in the league.
He is.
And I think
He's
the
another
Bengals,
guy.
surprisingly, 2-0.
Yeah, Jake Browning is the guy that I wanted us to draft a few years ago as a backup. Me and another Giants and Paul Sarpin, because I said he's a good backup. He's smart, and so I think they're gonna be okay. But this goes to show Cincinnati, you got to start putting money into that offensive line, just like the Giants seems to.
Bro,
they're wasting this guy's career,
year,
man.
even though he and Jay Chase have a beautiful thing, I wanted Penei Sewell for that organization, because I was fearful that Burrow would get injured. Now, this is a second major injury to the lower extremities, as some of you may remember. He blew out his knee in year 1. Year 2, he was playing in a Super Bowl, but he also took a beating that year. Joe Burrow, I am fearful that Joe Burrow could turn into another Andrew Luck, and we don't want that.
Right. Luck called it after 8 years. He's like, I can't do it no more.
And he made the best decision of his life.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money, too.
Yeah. I can't. And they got to help. I mean, look how many caught, like Chad Penniking, good quarterback. They weren't putting nothing around. David Carr, good quarterback. They wouldn't protect him.
Yeah, bro. He showed a few flashes in garbage time with the 2008 Giants.
Yeah. You gotta protect your franchise quarterback. You have to. Even and I'm talking about Burt Jones, Indianapolis. I remember him playing when I was younger. Damn good quarterback. The Colts would not put an offensive line on his shoulder. Messed up his shoulder, shortened his career. And he was a damn good quarterback. These guys, if you're drafting a quarterback, you know you got to protect his backside. First and foremost. You need a right guard, right tackle. That's his blind side.
That's where the battles are won. And when you don't have it, you see the most prolific offenses take a hit back. I mean, we've seen 2 different Super Bowls where Patrick Mahomes was running for his life.
Yes.
We saw what happened to Tom Brady over the years when they had to replenish pieces. Some of the beatings he took. So look at the beatings Eli took.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's a tough guy. He's a former defensive back.
Oh, I got nothing but respect for him. And he's one of the more cerebral. He's one of the more cerebral guys to ever play that position.
He's a tough guy, and you can't put money. This is the one guy you had in years since Carson Palmer.
Yeah, when you pay the receiving room as much as they did, As much as
Yes.
they did, I get it. You overcame the odds and
Hmm.
you won a conference championship, but that offensive line, if they do not address it, Joe Burrow's career is going to be shorted or he's going to demand a trade.
I'll
They
be honest
better
with
be
you.
careful. They better be
I,
careful.
no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is it for him. I think when his contract is up this time, he's gone.
Oh
I mean, I
my.
know that's his hometown, but he's an Ohio guy. But if they don't protect him when he's out of there because I mean, he'll have the injury, so he may not get that money. But who knows?
I have a
Someone's gonna want
weird
him.
I have a weird premonition.
Hmm.
Joe Burrow, if he ever did leave, would go back to another place where he planted some serious roots. I'm talking about New Orleans,
Nola,
Louisiana.
Nola. Yep.
Boy, would that bring back the Drew Brees feel. Drew
Yeah.
Brees' former team, his first team, the Los Angeles Chargers, they were San Diego when he was over there.
Hmm.
They got a ball game tonight against the Las Vegas Raiders. This could go
Yeah.
either way. This could be a defensive struggle, or this could actually be a game where Gino and Justin are lighting it up. I'm
Woo!
going to go with the latter here. I think this is going to be a high scoring game tonight.
Oh, I think some points gonna go up too. um,
Dead, you're a dead man walking in fantasy, baby. Once the Houston Texans get a couple of sacks or once the shit starts, I got Houston defense. I got Justin Herbert. The Richie Hicks's team, King Richard,
King Richard in the building.
three consecutive Cheddar in the Sun championship appearances. I've won 2 out of 3. This is pushing greatness in terms of a potential dynasty. Yes, I said it, Brett Bandick, a potential dynasty. I didn't have a pick until round 3. Brett clowned my team.
Yeah.
Brett, you're on in my sights, baby. I got you week 4.
Even even fantasy sports said you did before.
Idris, I'm about to be 2-0
You about to
despite.
be 2-0.
And no, I'm not putting up points like the favorite Mike Zappi. I'll handle him when I get there. As the game goes tonight, give me the Los Angeles Chargers 34. Give me the
Hmm.
Vegas Raiders 24. It's going to be a fun game. I look for Brock Bowers to do his thing. I think the difference in tonight's game is that Geno Smith is going to force a couple of things that he has no other choice to do. And I think the Los Angeles secondary is going to benefit. And I'm calling a Keenan Allen touchdown. I'm calling a Will Disley touchdown. And I
Hmm.
think Justin Herbert is going to have back-to-back 300-yard nights. I think Justin Herbert
Hmm.
is going to gradually start working his way into MVP discussion. This is going to be comparable to his rookie campaign,
I agree.
but better, but better.
Yeah, I
He got
agree.
the toys now. He got the toys now. He can
You
swing
got
that
the
thing.
toys now. I agree. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go the same thing. I'm gonna go with 31. Yeah, I'm gonna go 31-28. 31-27 Vegas. I mean not Vegas. I want to say the freaking San Diego Chargers. The
I know.
Chargers.
Still sounds better. I know.
It sounds better. It's more cool, more sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
31-27. Chargers.
And Lad McConkey might hit pay dirt too and give people
He
that
might.
Lance Allworth feel. You know you're a
Oh,
bad
what you know
man.
about Bambi? Oh, word, Lance.
You
Oh, you. Oh,
know you know you're a bad man when you're a white wide receiver in G units rocking your jersey in their most official video of all time.
but you took it back to Bambi Allworth, Lance
Hell
Allworth.
yeah.
You know what?
Lloyd Banks rocking the Allworth.
You know what? Lance Allworth he's what made me want to be a receiver in school, but I wound up being a running back and then a quarterback. But it was Lance Allworth because I used to love the powder blue, I know actually the
Oh
white
yeah.
jersey they used to wear.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm a diehard New York Giants fan.
yeah,
But that might be aesthetically the most beautiful jersey ever worn
it
on a
is.
football field in
And
the NFL level.
you said the right word, beautiful. It's a
It is.
beautiful jersey.
It is. It
It's a
is.
beautiful jersey.
We got 2 Monday night games tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's in Houston, taking
Mhm.
on the Texans. This is a game that I think is going to be the opposite of the West Coast game. I think there's going to be a defensive struggle.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see a battle of the kickers,
yeah.
McLaughlin against Fairbairn. And I'm hesitantly taking the Texans for a 4-point victory. I'm going Houston Texans 24, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20, and I think the turning point in the game is going to be a late Baker Mayfield fumble as he's going to get racked from his blind side. I think this is going to be a very close game, but I would not be surprised if Tampa wins a close one. I have about equal faith in both kickers. I think Baker Mayfield is a little better than CJ Stroud right now. I just think the Houston defense is going to make a few more plays and they're going to win the game, but it's going to be close.
I'm gonna go reverse, same score but reverse. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. Um, it's just something about that Houston team this year that they just don't look right. I think Nick Chubb will have a decent night. I think, man, Evans, I think Godwin is back because he practiced this week.
Yeah, somebody tried to trade me him for Tyreek Hill, and I was like, listen, Miami might suck, but Tyreek Hill's still going to get his numbers. You could go miss me with that trade.
Right, he's gonna get his numbers.
Godwin liable to get hurt on from the team from the hotel to the team bus.
Right.
Nah, I'll miss me with that bullshit.
I like to know who it was. But yeah, but I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I think I used to be so hard on Baker Mayfield.
Well, with good reason. He wasn't always playing this well.
But I love Baker now. I love Baker since he left. I love Baker since he was in LA. Calm down, da 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 da. So yeah, I'm gonna go 31-28.
You got this. You got some points, a little more than I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah, I got him 31-28. Tampa.
I like it.
Yeah. Good game though. I think it's gonna be a real good game.
All right, we're gonna divert our attention to MLB for a moment, and we're gonna finish with boxing. New York Yankees played a weird game yesterday. They were down 6-0 in the first inning as Will Warren got rocked. He calmed down and was able to give us some innings, which was actually beneficial. You know, sometimes you lose a game, but you win a bigger war. Yankees won 2 out of 3 against a team that they have not been able to deal with all year, and that is good juju going into the playoffs because we're probably going to play them in a wild card series. It would be a tall order for the New York Yankees to catch the Toronto Blue Jays, who currently hold a 4-game lead over them. The Yankees are 2 better in the loss column than the Boston Red Sox, but tonight, immediately, they're in Minnesota, and that's a team that's capable of hurting you if you are not playing your game. But right now, I like what I saw from the Yankees. I saw some resilience. I saw some fight. And I saw a team that really wanted to win last night's game. And unfortunately, you got to hand it to Garrett Crochet, who was on his game, even though he gave up a couple of homers.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to give it to former Yankee Aroldis Chapman, who was throwing straight fire in that 9th inning.
Amazing.
But winning 2 out of 3 in a hostile Fenway this time of the year.
Yeah.
Hey.
A win is a win, man.
Absolutely, a win is a win. The Red Sox, still very much, in my opinion, playoff bound. I don't want them in the playoffs, but I think we're going to see them. We're going to see them regardless. Other MLB news: the Mets, via Pete Alonso, finally break that dreaded 8-game losing streak.
Woo.
And this time of the year, the power of suggestion is a real thing. I still think the Mets are in big trouble. I still think the Mets are going to miss the playoffs. We'll see. It is critical condition over there, so it's going to be a day-to-day thing for the New York Mets. Major League Baseball's heating up, man.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, Tarek Skubal, some good news there. A couple of nights ago, he got himself injured. He should make his next start. This could go any way in the American League. American League is really, really wide open. Aaron Judge in a losing effort, another home run as he and Cal Raleigh, that's still not completely decided. Cal Raleigh ties Mickey Mantle yesterday for most home runs from a switch-hitting player. But the fact that he's a catcher and is doing this shit, he could steal the MVP. I still think it belongs to Judge. But, Judge might start getting that Michael Jordan treatment, where the best player in the league doesn't always win.
Right.
That's what Cal Raleig's doing, given his positional value, even though I'm not a fan of that batting average. It's very, very impressive, and the Seattle Mariners are the hottest team in Major League Baseball right now. Zappy's Rangers still have a shot at the wild card. I kind of want them in there because it would be fun to see Jacob deGrom in the postseason.
Yeah.
But, a lot to unpack. I think the most vulnerable team going into the playoffs, assuming that they don't fall apart, is the Chicago Cubs. I don't like what I'm seeing. I think they missed a grand opportunity to add to that pitching staff. But it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun down the stretch. Every game is so important right now. they're nearing, most teams are nearing around 15 games or so left in the season,
Yeah.
and so much to be decided. And this is the kind of season, and we've seen this in previous years, where wild card teams could potentially go to the World Series.
Yeah. Shouts out to the Brew Crew. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Brew Crew is still, Brew Crew's still holding.
I love. The Brewers are my champions, man. I mean, except if they play the Yankees, I'm going Yankees. But
Oh, of
the
course. I mean,
Brew
that's a
Crew,
former AL East rivalry going back to a long time ago. And speaking of champions, Idris, speaking of
yeah,
champions, Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, a win for professional boxing,
yes,
grand staged for the world to see. Netflix, no question in my mind that they got it right. Terrence Crawford basically beat Canelo at his own game.
he did.
And I haven't seen Canelo get schooled like that in a boxing ring since he was a much younger fighter at the hands of Floyd Money Mayweather.
Mhm.
And, a lot of class exhibited by the new champion
Yeah,
as he briefly interrupted Canelo's press conference to return his championship belts, which is not always a common practice.
right.
He's obviously going to get his belts tailored and detailed to his specifications, but it was a great show of respect
Mhm.
for an aging legend
Yeah,
to give it to another aging legend, because a lot of people don't realize this, but Terrence Crawford is actually 2 years older than Canelo Alvarez. But the
right.
reason The reason why I tell people that Canelo's an old 34 is because of the ring miles. That man has
Yeah,
fought over 800 rounds,
64 fight, 60, 66 fights. I think it is 67
something in
fights.
that neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a lot of fights, man.
He's got two
Um,
draws, he's got 3 L's, and he's got 60 something wins.
yeah, it's like 63 wins, I think, or
I
something.
believe you're correct. I think it's
Yeah,
63, 3-2, which is a phenomenal record.
yeah, yeah. It's Netflix got it right, top to bottom. Because the undercards were great. Like if
I
y'all
thought the
didn't watch,
Vargas fight was pretty good, even though Vargas clearly took a beating. I think it was a good growing moment for a young fighter, and he will be better for it.
that and Billy Martinez fight, golly, them guys.
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
it was a
good
good.
night for boxing, man. This is one of the better cards I've seen in quite some time, and Netflix is going to corner the market on this stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? Shouts out to them Arab dudes because they said they're not going to put on no garbage fights, and they're putting that money in. They're trying to get rid of pay-per-view, which is
Yeah, and
good
I'm with
because
it. I'm
I'm
with
with
it.
it. I'm with it. If I could just pay my whatever $14 a month, and I'm watching a big fight like that, I'm cool with that.
And it's good for the family because
Yeah,
you could have fight night at your house and
it's
it's not such an expensive affair, but Netflix is
fine.
still making out like fat cats.
Yeah, but not hurting us. You know what I mean? That's the great thing about it. And
The
that's
way
for the
it
fight.
should be.
The way it
The
should be.
way
That's
it
the way it
should
used
be.
to be. Back in the days of Ali and Foreman, you watched it on TV.
Well, one of the most beautiful things, I mean, shit, I'm not going to front, dude. I miss HBO boxing, not just because
Oh,
it was convenient,
yes.
but listen, I think Netflix did a nice job of the background stories that
Yeah,
of both fighters. They did a good job when they were going back into Tyson Paul and other things of that nature.
yeah.
But nothing will ever line up to the height of HBO boxing when they did 24/7.
Nope. That was
And
a
I do
whole.
miss
That was a
HBO
whole thing.
boxing. I must admit, I
Yeah,
miss HBO boxing. The late great Emmanuel Stewart. You
yeah.
had Larry Merchant.
Jim Lampley.
Jim Lampley was a
Oh,
legend. Max Kellerman is still. A lot of people like
yeah,
to get on Max for other things, and sometimes he does do the Bob Costas thing where he gets a little too emo.
yeah. But he knows his game, though. He knows
He
that fight. That
knows
fight game.
his boxing. You could clown him on other things, but that man knows his boxing, and more importantly, that man loves the sport. And those
Love
two
the
men
sport.
that fought the other night, they
Hey,
showed in the most exemplary form what it means to be a true champion on both ends, a true champion in defeat.
yeah.
Canelo has nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
Do
no.
I think Canelo would have returned Crawford's belt if it was the other way around? No, I ain't going that far.
I ain't going that far either.
But a great deal of respect was earned,
You
or
know,
any question
I
was
think
earned
with
from
the
Canelo Alvarez to the Crawford camp.
I think with the fight also, and a lot of people say, "Oh, he ran, he ran." People don't realize Canelo will knock your ass out.
You're damn right.
Crawford fought the right fight. Stick and move. Stick and move.
Yeah,
That's a good
he
stick and
was
move.
gassed. He
Stick.
was gassed by round 7, but Canelo is a courageous champion. And one
Mhm.
thing about that Mexican pride in the boxing ring,
quit.
You will literally have to kill them before they quit.
And even Canelo said after the fight, I saw an interview where he said, "Look, I fought, man. I mean, he was just too fast. Da da da." He said, "I couldn't hit him, and he couldn't. He couldn't." And when I watched the fight, I could tell in the early rounds Crawford was being cautious because he knew Canelo could hit him and it could be over.
Yeah, bro.
But as the fight went on about the seventh round, you started seeing where, okay, Crawford's like, all right, he don't hit that hard. Then he got to the point where Crawford was right in front of him, like, he doesn't hit me that hard. He fought the perfect fight against. It's like Ali when he fought Foreman. He fought the fight he needed to fight to beat Foreman. Crawford fought the fight he needed to fight to beat Canelo, because everybody else that got in the ring with Canelo, that he beat their ass pretty good, knocked them out.
No, you make a solid point. The only fights in Canelo where I think he could possibly have 4 or 5 defeats, we spoke about it on the previous show, was the Triple G series. I thought Triple
Yeah.
G outdid him in that trilogy, but sometimes in boxing, similar to what we've been seeing unfortunately happen to the great Manny Pacquiao,
Yeah.
is that it doesn't benefit the sport for Pacquiao to catch wins.
Right.
Unfortunately, but I'm a firm believer that regardless of what's good for tomorrow or good for the immediate moneymaker, the man who won the fight needs to have his hand raised. But Manny Pacquiao is a credit to not only the Philippines, the people of the Philippines, but he is a credit to the great sport of boxing.
Because you got, and this is why I'm not much of a fan of the Tank Davises and the Shakur
Hell
Stevenses.
no.
You know why
Hell
I'm
no.
not? And I think they're good fighters,
Of course they are.
but I need to see you guys fight each other. Crawford said, "I'll fight whoever." This
That's
man
why I
jumped
love
3
him, and he
divisions.
will find a way to get into the ring with Benavidez. It will happen, but you're not going to see
Dude,
Canelo and Benavidez now.
this is what he said yesterday. He said he couldn't go up to 178. That's too much. He said it's a chance he'll stay where he is, and if Jesse can come down. But he said he might stay at 160. And he said he had decided. He said, but if he anything, he's going to stay at 160. It'd be a big fight if he fight the Mexican Monster, boy. Whew, he's not Canelo. He's coming to get you. So I don't know if
That
he
would
want to
be
go.
a phenomenal fight because those are two fighters that both have the same
Yeah,
outlook and the same approach when it comes to the
yeah,
sweet science. That would be another win for boxing and an even better fight because Benavidez is closer to his prime than
yeah,
Canelo is. I want to make one thing
yeah,
clear, and I'm not
yeah.
taking nothing away from Crawford's victory.
Right.
Canelo is still a top 3 to 4 world-class
Oh
fighter,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
Bud Crawford is that much better right now.
Yeah.
Bud
Right
Crawford
now,
is better than Floyd Mayweather. Put it down. Use my mouth as a quote. I said it. Bud
he is.
Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I agree. You know why? They say, yeah, but what's the thing at 20? Look, this man is an undisputed champion in 3 divisions.
And I'll keep it a buck, dude. This is a guy that aspiring boxers, or not just boxers.
Mm-hmm.
He is an athlete that children could be proud of looking up to.
No scandals. You never hear him in the media doing this and doing that. He's humble. He's soft spoken. This is who you want. This is who you want.
He
This
is
is guy.
comparable in terms of that dynamic of his character to
Mm-hmm.
what an Aaron Judge
Yep.
means to MLB. He is in that class of human being, the athlete, and also the person outside the ring. He is the total package as far as I'm concerned. Congratulations, Bud Crawford. You earned every bit of that. And your
I
life
think
was not easy. And the things that young man overcame to be where he is today are an
he
inspiration to everyone.
and like I said, going back to Canelo, Canelo wins. Canelo's probably the greatest of this era.
No question.
But I
It's
think I
kind of
gotta
like
give
the Yankees stealing the decade from the Braves.
yeah. But I think with Canelo, I think with Crawford winning, considering what he has done, you're talking coming up from lightweight, winning a lightweight title, being undisputed junior lightweight, undisputed welterweight, winning
He
the
took the
junior,
long road, Idris, and he
took
did
the
it.
long road, dude,
He
and beat
did
them
it in a
all.
way where, similar to Ali and Foreman in Zaire many, many years ago,
Yes.
this changed the trajectory of two people's careers. Canelo's still solidified.
Oh yeah, he's still
But
there.
if Bud Crawford would have lost that fight, he would not be recognized in the way he did. Foreman took 2 decades off after Ali put him down.
Right. And won the championship.
If Foreman wins that fight against Ali, which let's be real, 7 out of 10 times, Foreman probably would have won that fight because
He
he
was
was
winning
that
the
damn
fight.
good.
He was winning the fight until
If
Ali
people
knocked him
think
out.
that Mike Tyson was scary in the 80s, go revisit George Foreman in the 70s. That was a bad, bad man.
Foreman was scary, dude. You looked at him like, I don't want to fight this dude. Foreman was scared. It's good that people seen Foreman in his later years when he came back, because that was fun, lovable. George
Yeah,
Foreman.
he came full circle. He found a faith that he believed in.
Mm-hmm.
He became one of the better pitchmen to ever do it.
Yeah,
And what you saw is what you got both times of Foreman's career. When he was younger, he was fighting a lot of personal
yeah,
demons that he had to overcome in his way, and he found that way through what he deemed to be his Lord and Savior, Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Other people
Right,
find other ways, whether it's Islam, whether
or
it's
whatever.
Buddhism, but he
But it helped him.
found a peace that
Made him a great
turned
person.
him a great person, a full house,
Yeah,
and one of the most missed characters in all of
you
professional
ain't lying. Because
sports.
George was a George. George is like God. He like, it's like Shaq is like him. Had a great career, but when he left the career of boxing, he became even more of a lovable person.
There are
It's like,
certain people that have been able to transition and do it like that. Tiki Barber thought he was going to be the next Bryant Gumbel, but in reality, it ended up being Michael Strahan.
right. Humility. That's what it is.
Absolutely. And
Humility.
and speaking of Michael Strahan, speaking of boxing, before we get out of here, Michael Strahan's late father,
Yeah.
while in the military boxing, knocked out Ken Norton. Ken
Ten.
Norton knocked
Yep.
out Muhammad Ali. So that goes to show you the kind of toughness in the Strahan family tree.
Yep. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Sports is
Idris, this
something,
was a
man.
good show, my man.
Sports is something, dude. You gotta love it.
Gotta love it for sure. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on YouTube. Check out the V Mix, the Vicious Mix, with this man right here, Idris Salam, Bosco from the Bronx,
That's
Big
me.
Bosco Productions,
That's me.
Live365.com is where you can
That's
find
me.
that. The Sports Corner, Johnny Nash. Definitely give that a look. Check out our girl, Chanel, on the Casual Convo Show every Wednesday from 8 to 10. Check her out.
Booyah. We did
One
it.
last thing, Idris.
Yeah.
We are only 17 or 18 days away from New York Knicks basketball.
Hey, let's go, Knicks. Let's
No,
go,
no
Knicks.
Tatum, no Halliburton. We're, we're going to the NBA. We're going to
Was
the
that Noah?
NBA Finals this year, guys.
Was that Noah in the background?
Yeah. For Idris Salam, I am your host, Richie. Have a great day, everyone. Bing bong, bitch.
Bam.